We're on.
Describe your senior year in 3 words.
Boss. Booth. Beast.
If you had $1,000 to spend, what would you buy?
I'd buy like a lot of Sprites.
High school, what you expected it to be, and why or why not?
I think high school isn't really always what you expect, but it's definitely an experience and something everyone should have to go through. So I think high school was overall pretty good.
If you could start high school all over again, would you have chosen to do anything differently?
Yeah, I think I would have stayed focused more with my grades and took it more seriously, because I think that's an issue a lot of freshmen have when they first go to high school. So yeah.
Okay, finish this sentence. I will always remember
My child.
If you could start high school over, what would you do differently?
Probably focus more on my grades.
if you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
From the first semester when I was starting to do, when I was like on a hot start, and then I just kind of just went down to towards the end of the semester.
If you could start high school over, what would you do differently?
I would get better grades so I could have played football 4 years instead of getting kicked out freshman year.
What was the most memorable moment for this year's prom, and why?
Most memorable moment for prom was that everyone hated it. That's what was most memorable.
Who was your favorite teacher throughout all of high school, and why?
Probably Mr. Summers. He was real cool. He was actually a good teacher. He cared.
What is your biggest fear and why? Do you plan to overcome it and how?
My biggest fear is height. I can't stand them. I'm planning on overcoming it by skydiving, and hopefully that goes well.
Finish this sentence. I could not live without.
Women.
Describe your senior year in 3 words.
I'm prom queen.
And Steven?
Describe your senior year in 3 words.
I'm prom king. Got him.
Psych.
Dab on him.
Okay, describe your senior year in 3 words.
Awful, boring. I hated it.
Okay, if you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
Not dating Wyland.
What relationship advice would you give the underclassmen?
Like what kind of relationship? Like dating relationship or?
Anything. What advice, like having to do with couples or getting into dating or relationships in general?
Probably freshman, sophomore year, I wouldn't recommend being in a relationship just because it's like that's the start of you getting acclimated into high school, and it's just a waste of time because you're too young. I don't know.
You define success.
I would say being accomplished and determined like on what you're doing, and you just feel satisfied with what you achieved.
Where will you be in 10 years?
I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be making clothes for rich people. And yeah, I have my bands up.
Can money buy you happiness?
I think so. A lot of people worry about like having money, I guess. So like, if you have money, you have nothing really to worry about. So then
You wouldn't be in a
happy.
struggle.
Exactly, you wouldn't be stressed out about what you're gonna do next.
Okay, describe the worst date you've ever been on.
You want to go first or me first?
Okay.
Just go. You go. Okay. One time this guy took me on a date, but it wasn't really a date, it was a party, and it was all guys, and I was the only girl, and I was a freshman, and it was horrible. That's a date. I'm kidding. Well, one guy, okay, he was older than me at the time. I was like 17, he was like 20 or 19, and then he was taking me out on a date, and then he was waiting for me outside, and then I went outside. It's a long story. Can I say the whole story? You want me to say the whole story? Okay, make it short.
Make it short.
Okay. And then, anyway, my brother went outside. It was the first date, dude. And then my brother went outside to meet him already. This guy was freaked out. He was just like, hi. And then, whatever. That happened. And then we went to the pumpkin patch. And he didn't know you had to pay for the pumpkin. So he was was walking out with the pumpkin, and then the security guard was like, "Hey, can I see your receipt?" And he was just like, "Oh, you have to pay." And then the guy was like, "Yeah." And then, long story short, he got arrested or whatever.
For stealing a
It was
pumpkin.
weird. I don't know. Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. Okay. If you had $1,000 to spend, what would you buy?
I would fix my truck. $1,000? Just $1,000? I don't know. I'd get a lot of tattoos.
What is the worst thing about being a senior?
Procrastinate on all of your work all the time.
What has been the highlight of your senior year?
I really enjoyed football, stuff like that.
If you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
I'll go back and not play soccer and tear my ACL.
Why?
It ruined my senior year for playing tennis and my future.
Who has taught you the most while you've been in high school, and what did you learn from this person?
I learned from my coach, Mr. Eklund, tennis, because he never gave up on me even though I failed him from accomplishing my dreams.
Okay. If you didn't go to prom, what did you do instead?
Get lit.
If you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
Me getting held back.
You would change that?
Yeah.
You got held back? So what are you right now? A senior?
What is the worst thing about being a senior?
Let your grades drop. Stay on top of your work.
What about you?
The worst thing about being a senior is making sure you have all your credits and making sure you have all of your assignments finished and not behind.
What is your biggest fear and why? Do you plan to overcome it and how?
My biggest fear is failing.
What is your biggest fear and why? Do you plan to overcome it and how?
Biggest for dogs. Like, they're aggressive. You know, you got kicked a little bit. I don't plan on becoming that. They just aggressive.
What is your biggest pet peeve about high school?
My biggest pet peeve would probably be just loud people in the hallways, obnoxious people.
What has been the highlight of your senior year?
The highlight of my senior year would probably be being able to come back to Altaloma from going to the continuation school down the street. It's been really cool, you know.
Okay. What's the worst thing about being a senior?
Waking up for school. It's the worst.
Who has taught you the most while you've been in high school, and what did you learn from this person?
I think a whole lot of people taught me like a bunch of different things. Like when teachers and they're like, what are you gonna do? And you have to be prepared for high school. It just, or like, I'm gonna say Del Rio. She gave me like a good talk about like life because I said I wanted to move out and be on my own already. And she talked about how you have to get your own car, your own place. You have to have your first and last deposit. And like she really like prepared me for like the road around, I guess.
What is your biggest pet peeve about high school?
My biggest pet peeve is people that walk slow or stop in front of you and have a conversation like, move out the way, I have a class to get to.
Do you feel like your teachers prepared you for the world?
I would say no, because most of the stuff that I've learned in high school, I'm not really going to apply to my life after I graduate. Other than that, I've gained good friends and become more social, but I don't think it really matters if I know the Pythagorean theorem or not.
What has been the highlight of your senior year?
The highlight of my senior year has been partying and being on Kingswell Court. That was pretty cool. Also, my friends are a big highlight of my senior year because the people I know this year I wish I would have known freshman year. So, yeah, senior year's been the best year of high school, definitely.
Describe your senior year in 3 words.
Laziness, bored, and inconvenience.
Describe the worst date you've ever been on.
I went out to Six Flags because they said they really like roller coasters,
and then the first ride we went on they threw up. So it's kind of a waste of a day, and we had to go home.
What are you looking forward to or dreading about life after high school?
If anything, I'm probably dreading where I'm going to be life if I'm moving or if I'm staying in California.
Where will you be in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'll probably get a really big house, being a child therapist or something.
What is the most creative excuse you've ever used to get out of a homework assignment?
That's a good question. I ditched class one time, and then I did the homework during that period, and then I gave it to my friend. I told him to turn it in, saying I was absent that day.
Did he turn it in?
He did turn it in.
You just said he forgot to turn it in.
I say he forgot or I forgot. Wait, what?
Who do you think is the most influential person in the United States and why?
It has to be Casey Neistat. He's a YouTuber because his creativity and just puts out a lot into the world. It's just amazing.
5 things you value the most at this point in your life.
Money, myself, my family, the Marine Corps, and soccer.
Who was your favorite teacher throughout all of high school and why?
I would have to say Miss Martin because she's not like any of the rest of the teachers. She's spontaneous, outgoing, and she just makes learning fun.
What relationship advice would you give the underclassmen?
If you a thought, don't be a thought.
What is your biggest pet peeve about high school and why?
When people walk so slow, like I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm not trying to stand behind you for 50 years. Like, come on.
What is the worst thing about being a senior?
I did not know how expensive it was going to be.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is not living life to the fullest.
Finish the sentence. I will always remember
being a brave.
What relationship advice would you give the underclassmen?
Alright, so if your girlfriend's mad, get her food. Your day will go a lot smoother, honestly.
Where will you be in 10 years?
I see myself in 10 years working for custom auto body paint. Body shops.
Start high school over, what would you do differently?
I would pick a sport or like something else other than ASB to join.
Who was your favorite teacher throughout all of high school and why?
Probably Miss Kettle because she's just like a heartwarming person and yeah.
Do you feel like your teachers prepared you for the real world?
Not really.
Why?
I mean, we learned about like useless stuff really. I don't know how it's going to take most of the stuff we learned in real life.
If you could start high school over, what would you do differently?
I would definitely get better grades. Like at one point I had like a 1 point something, and I just know it wasn't because I was trying. Because I wasn't trying.
Describe your senior year in 3 words.
I would say stressful, short definitely, and fun.
What is your biggest pet peeve about high school?
My biggest pet peeve about high school would have to be status and how people always look to fit in. Who's your favorite teacher throughout all of high school and why?
That probably have to be Mr. Dempsey, because he's not, the way his curriculum is, he kind of makes it more, I guess, exciting, not just both work and the regular eat those amongst. He kind of mixes the music and makes the lessons more fun, basically, makes it more entertaining.
If you could start high school over, what would you do differently?
I definitely take school more serious. My freshman and sophomore year were just kind of bad. I call it my dark years. So I would have taken school a lot more seriously and would have taken the sport a lot more seriously. I would have taken the whole aspect of high school more seriously.
Looking back on your high school years, what one piece of advice would you offer to any incoming freshmen?
Well, I'll tell all the freshman guys to stay focused, motivated, and stay away from girls. Girls get you distracted and make you do a lot of crazy, stupid things that you shouldn't be doing.
Was high school what you expected it to be? Why or why not?
I thought it would be like High School Musical, all that singing and stuff, but I was wrong. It's more depressing.